you don't make enough to provide for us anymore, so we have to get out there in the workforce.
Right, because you voted for laws that give the jobs to you instead of to us. You know that, right? You have to know about this, right? Women have been saying for decades, they've been saying, we get 77 cents on the... Women want to get paid equal. They don't want to work equal. They just want to get paid equal. So they went to the government and they voted for the government to make things equal. And now that things are equal, women have raised their standards and they're saying, men can't provide anymore. You voted for that. You know that, right? The government takes money from men and gives it to corporations if they meet diversity quotas. So we are being forced to pay to put ourselves out of work so you can be equal. Men and women don't put the same amount of effort into the workplace, and so they get different rewards out of it, but women wanted to make it equal. When men made more, women could find men who made more, but now women are making more, and they can't find men who make more. But it's not because you're running faster than us, it's because you voted to redistribute the trophies. So my money goes to the government, and the government gives that money to corporations, and then when I apply for a job, the corporation says, you may not have that job. We need more women to satisfy our government free money requirements. So you want men to pay, but you voted to take away our ability to do that. You can only have two of these. You can have equal pay by law, men take care of you, and the eligible men are loyal. If all of you are going after a few guys, then the eligible guys are going to have access to lots of women. So if you want equal pay by law and men to pay for everything, all of you are going to be going after just this section. So if you stopped voting for money to go like that, then we would still have more money to be able to spend on you. This situation is like a dog that wants you to throw a ball, but it won't drop it. We want men to pay. Okay, let me go get a job. No, you can't have that. That's for women. We need equality. Okay, then go date the men who have more money. Where have all the good men gone? I mean, you have to know about this, right? Everyone knows this, right? Please tell me that you knew this.
Feminism has really made it impossible for women to grasp the true nature of equality because it constantly bombards women with this thought that they need to be independent and that they don't need any men in their lives.
I'd rather pay a prostitute so she leaves when we're done, rather than sit here and put a bunch of money into a chick and then taking her out for nice dinners, buying her shit, and you get the same result in the end anyway. She's still paying for pussy.
He's the one.
Feminism uses popular culture such as movies, television series, documentaries, talk shows, the news, books, music, comic books, podcasts, social media, and social media influencers to perpetuate this thought that a woman who spends her prime years laboring in offices and building wealth are real women, and that they're the women every other woman should follow the example of.
Women hate men because men oppress, harass, assault, rape, and abuse women. Men have made women hate them. If you have negative experiences with men, some people will jump to the conclusion of using that to paint all men. If you get bitten by a dog, do you view all dogs as a threat? Probably not. We have to inject nuance into our conversations. And at the end of the day, I think these women are doing it in their personal lives. I do think they are looking for men. I do think they have brothers and fathers and uncles and cousins who they would characterize as being good men. So they know that there are men out there that exist, just maybe in their personal experiences, they've yet to receive that. And there's something to be said for maturing out of this mentality as well. In their probably 30s and 40s, they're gonna come to realize, oh yeah, well, not all men. I hate to say not all men, but yeah, not all men are like this. It's just a simple fact. It's the truth.
So, modern women around the world must realize that life's not just about making money, generating wealth, starting businesses, and climbing the corporate ladder. Because women have the leverage of not doing any of that and still live the best lives with their partners who are happy to be providers, and even happier when they have wives who give birth to beautiful children, and together they raise their families. I think there's a reason people were happier back in the day, and I think that the reason was that people used to stick to certain roles in life and not get worked up on chasing things that they weren't meant to chase. There will come a time in a decade when having a man will be considered a luxury for women, mark my words. Why do these women believe they can live their entire lives without men? That's the important question. Men who have built the infrastructures around them, and men who have advanced science, technology, and human civilization, these are the same women who live off of divorce settlements and then marry other wealthier men to only leave them for the next one. The ability for males to make their own decisions should excite feminists who advocate gender equality. It's similar to a bunch of males who treat women with the same level of disdain that men are frequently shown by women. But regrettably, they opt for excellent results rather than exceptionally high accountability. The only way to ensure a high-quality outcome is to acquire the heart and mentality of a man who works harder than they do and provides for them throughout his life. Why should men still be here if women don't require their support and protection? Women want men to remain by their side, take care of them, and listen to their issues, but they also want men to believe that they are not dependent on them. With the promise of freedom from males, feminism has devastated the majority of Western women. Women need males more than they realize because they are unhappy at work and are turning into crazy, lonesome cat ladies, but they won't confess it as long as it is taboo to do so. In the future decades, as our culture gets more conservative, they will eventually come to recognize it. The fact that women feel entitled might be understandable from some aspects, but the fact that they feel too entitled, which means they feel entitled just because that's how it is the topic of discussion and debate here. And it is even more so because society has jumped on the woke feminist bandwagon that calls for equality in every aspect of life, and yet continues to support women to feel entitled to everything a man does, earns, and produces is just perplexing, to say the least. Women, even today, expect everything to be taken care by a man, but still march the streets with banners for equality on the other. It's clear to see that modern women are incredibly confused. They fall hard into the feminism trap and don't know how to get out of it. It's beyond me how women feel they can trample on society and men and believe the world still owes them love and respect. All of these women got a rude but necessary awakening to what real life is about and how you can't mess with other people just because you feel like it. These women were humbled because they completely deserved it. Another thing that's striking here is that these women don't even realize they're doing something wrong. They're so incredibly entitled that they think whatever they're doing is completely normal. Their entitlement is totally unwarranted, as one woman asked what men bring to the table. And kudos to the guy who told her exactly what men bring to the table. What happens is that when these women reach the age of 40, they realize they're already past their biological clocks and will probably not be having children anymore. With this, they keep repeating the same mantra that they don't need any men in their lives. But as the years go by, they start to realize they really don't have any purpose in life. And the companies they'd been laboring away for don't really care about them because they can fire or lay off these women at any given time. The biggest example of this is the recent tech layoffs that we see in the United States, and then consequently the rest of the world. And so, it's only then when they know they cannot go back in time and do this over again, they realize how they'd wasted away their lives solely concentrating on money, building wealth, investing, and chasing corporate ladders. They realize all the money they have now in their bank accounts, they don't even have anyone to spend that money on. They don't know what to do with their investment, except perhaps make more and earn more. They don't have any children to pass it on. They don't have any children to pass on their knowledge, wisdom, and all the things they learned in life. The only thing they did in their lives was live to make money, and sure, that's something they did. But then what? Thousands of other people do that as well. When those people die, they're forgotten in a matter of days and months. They don't even have anyone to visit their graves. They're literally forgotten. Even the companies they worked for all of their lives replace them within a month or two. Sure, they might have coworkers and friends, but all of them are busy living and making memories with their partners and children. Throughout their lives, men are supposed to do everything for women and literally dedicate their lives to providing for, protecting, and helping women. And you know what? Men do that with a lot of joy, and it brings them a lot of satisfaction when they know they're being the providers. It gives them a solid purpose because they know they're doing justice to what the universe meant for them to do. They do it proudly because that's in their nature. I'm talking about high-value men, not a simp who starts crying if he gets rejected by a girl. But the question is, why is it that women expect everything from a man, especially when all they can do now is talk about equality and how men have oppressed them and controlled them? It's quite true that modern women have become too entitled. As I said, women's entitlement is unjustified, and men really don't need to sugarcoat things for women anymore, because they've clearly got the wrong idea about their role in modern society. Men need to make sure to put a woman in her place if she makes any unwarranted or untrue claim based on her overly inflated ego and entitlement. Today, being a strong and independent woman should actually mean a strong woman who holds the fort and watches over the house and kids, without the need to be bossed around by some other man or woman at a corporation. A boss woman should be someone who's the boss of the house. An independent woman should be someone who's independent and manages things for the house, designing it her way, making sure everything's as she wants it. All of this is possible if women can be okay with the fact that men are built to go out and brave the challenges of the world, suffer and hunt for work and resources, just to come home to a happy wife who's completely one with her own feminine nature and not trying to be someone she's not, a man. Women need to realize that the glory is actually being in a feminine woman, and that the man's life is a life that only a man can live. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.